Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's my pleasure to bring you a DIY Dollar Tree farmhouse organizer. I was inspired by this organizer from Country Door. I decided to make it one layer, and this one's much bigger, but for $30 I'm going to make it for three. Or four. So first we're going to use a piece of box art or two, and I'll show you can make it two layers if you want to. And then we're going to use two of these dry erase boards from the teaching tree section of the Dollar Tree. And then I decided to use a dowel. This was 97 cents for 36 inches at Walmart. But you can go ahead and you could use the plunger handle or bundle together some twigs or whatever. We're also going to paint it the color of your choice. These are two free printables that I got. I just like the font and the wreath, so we're going to use those to transfer. And then we're going to use our DeWalt. Now I posted a video the other day of how to do it, so you can learn from there. And we're going to use our glue gun with Gorilla Glue. If you want to use E6000, go for it. That's entirely up to you. But I will show you that this thing is mega strong. With just Gorilla Glue sticks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is unwrap everything, and then we're going to peel the shiny layer off. Actually, we're going to clean this off of all of its paper. We're going to get down to the particle board, the MDF, I'm sorry, but I will tell you that this thing peels so much easier and cleans up so much easier than all of the signs we've ever done before. Because it's a dry erase board, it has this coat of clear plastic on it, and it sort of wants to peel off in like one big giant thing, which was awesome. And then once you get the white off, or the plastic off, really, the white soaks up so nicely. And in all seriousness, I got two warm dish rags. I laid them on there. I went to the ladies' room. I came back, and the paper just peeled right off. It was amazing. In fact, I wasn't sure that the paper would peel off so easy, so I wasn't even recording it. But you can kind of see here, I just laid that on there like that. If there's any remaining leftovers, then you go ahead and you take an old gift card to scrape it. That's my favorite method. But you can see here, you just grab a corner and the whole sheet of paper. And it was really funny because as I was recording it, I'm running out of memory space on my phone, so I didn't record every single moment of every single step. But every time the camera was off, it peeled off in one piece, and then I went ahead and put the camera back on, and it would be stuck. So, but then you want to set those aside to dry. Now I've decided not to remove the paper from the bottom. It just feels like it holds up together a little bit better, and this paper is on really well. So what I did was I wanted the handle to stick out on both sides. It's a very country looking thing. So what I did was I put it next to my box, and I let it stick out about an inch on each side. It ended up being a 10-inch stick. So I went ahead and measured around. I took the hacksaw from the Dollar Tree. This stick, because I saw on the website, is 5/8 of an inch. So I took out my 5/8 of an inch spade bit, because we're going to create the hole in the handle. So to find the placement of the holes, what I did was I measured the width of the handle, and then I divided it in half, put two marks, draw a straight line, and then once I had that straight line, I took the amount that was in from the side. So it was like an inch, say it was an inch and 3/4. I went down from the top an inch and 3/4, just so it would be centered in the top of the handle. That's all. Then I took that 5/8 of an inch spade bit, and I went ahead and I drilled it. So I started to drill it through the board, and then I realized that I needed more strength. So I went ahead, and you see there, I just hung it between two spacers. So just to get that perfect hole. Now the bottom of the second hole did get chewed up a little bit, but there's no problem. It peeled right off. So now we're going to dry fit your dowels to make sure that they fit in the holes, and they fit nice and snug, which I love. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking both boards on both sides of the box art, and I'm measuring. Mine ended up measuring 8¼ inches. Then what I want to do is that means I want to measure in on both ends of the dowel 3/4. Actually, it ended up being 7/8 of an inch. Because basically what I want you to do is I want to create two holes in the dowel for a piece of skewer to go through, just to give it stability and strength. And I want to make sure that it's centered, basically. So you want to make sure that you have the same amount, the hole drilled from the same amount from the left as it is from the right. And then I've just picked a drill bit that is the same size as a skewer. I'm just going to use a piece of skewer. Now I've put a bunch of hot glue on the box art and put the two sides on, which was probably the easiest part of the whole project. And now I've put a bead of glue where the side meets the box art, and taking a dowel, I just cleaned off all the extra glue. Now here's where you decide if you want to have two layers on your box art. As you can see, you could slide the second box right in at the top. I would put tons of glue there, and I would even support it with some dowels. What I was thinking, not dowels, with some skewers. I was thinking if you screwed through the skewers, you can actually put a skewer underneath it just to give it added support for that second layer. But I wanted to put mason jars in here, and it wasn't enough space between the two layers, okay? So all I did was I took a regular skewer. These skewers are from the Dollar Tree. I made sure they fit in the hole before I glued them. I made them only as wide as the width of the handle, and then I put a little dot of hot glue on there and shove it through the hole. Then I pushed both of the dry erase board handles out so it met with the skewers. Basically, it's going to keep everything square. Besides give it added strength and the handle won't come out, it will keep everything nice and square. Okay? And this is where we get to save time in the video. I went ahead and I coated it 2 coats with, this is Plaid's chalk paint in white that I received as a gift. I made sure I got all of the corners and all of the areas that you will see. I did put, I do have a light coat on the bottom, but that was really because I just tried to catch drips, is really what it is. Do I have any techniques? Yeah, I poured it all in the container, as you saw, and I spread it around. Worked out really well. But make sure you get all around the skewer as well as the dowel and all around the handles. Don't forget to hit the edges as well. Okay? So now, once it's done with its first coat, I set it off to dry. It dried about an hour, not too long, because it's chalk paint after all. And then when I went to go put on its second coat, I used a brush this time, because I wanted to get it that matty sort of, there's a special brush for chalk paint, but because like a special bristle brush, but it does give that effect. But I think you can get that effect with a brush. So I went ahead with just a regular paintbrush. This one's from the Dollar Tree. It was in that set of 5. And I just went ahead and I swirled paint on. This is just an option. It's just a technique to show you guys you could do if you want to. You could also just slap that second coat of paint on there with that sponge brush, and it's fine too. But I definitely wanted to share with you this technique as well. Okay, now again, get under all of the areas, get in all the corners until it's where you like it, and then you're going to want to set it aside to dry again. I will tell you the second coat dried much quicker, not being the sponge brush does put on a thicker layer, so this one did dry very quickly. Okay, then I went to my computer. I found 2 printables that I wanted, and I actually was thinking I would have decoupaged the wood grain on there, but they didn't print out big enough, and I didn't want to have to fuss with it anyway. So I was like, you know what, let's just transfer it on there. It'll look really cute, black and white. So what I did was I did number 5B pencil, rubbed on the back. You can use a regular pencil, but it does work better when you have a softer lead in your pencil. And I got those drawing pencils from the Dollar Tree. So then I went ahead and I just scribbled all over the back, transferred it on with a regular pencil. You can see it there pretty good. I think it came out pretty good. It was a little hard for me to see while I was trying to film because the angle that I needed for the light, it was hard to, was off camera. So I wanted to try to do the best I could for you guys, okay? So then I flipped it over and I transferred the other one. You could use the same piece of art. If you do, you want to go ahead and you want to rub both of them. You want to rub it, transfer it, and then rub it again. Rub it is when you put the lead on the back or the graphite on the back. All right. So now I decided to show you 2 techniques. I'm going to use a paintbrush and paint. This is Waverly's black chalk paint. I think it's ink is the name of the color. And a fine paintbrush from that set from the Dollar Tree. And it's not perfect paint job, and it's not meant to be a perfect paint job. Okay, I wanted to show you that you could paint it on to get a really more beautifully rustic look, and you can personalize it. Here's the thing: when you paint, is like no two come out unless you're using a stencil. They won't come out the same, which is great. But I went ahead and I did the best that I could, and it really like it may look good, and you guys will probably give me great compliments, but it is far from being perfect. Trust me, I was there. But do I have any tips? I like to roll my paintbrush, put a little paint on my paintbrush and roll it on. What I was doing was in the cover, I was rolling it. And what that does when you roll the paintbrush with paint on it is it creates a point. So anytime you need your paintbrush to be pointy, just go ahead and roll it. And as you roll it, pull it like away, like drag it across as you roll it, and it will create like a little point for your paintbrush, okay? And then I went ahead and I really liked this font, these words with this wreath. It just was really pretty. It caught my eye. And then to make the wreath super easy, I'm just going to draw the lines first, and then I'm going to go back. And you guys might have seen this technique in the past. I mean, we used to do this back in the 80s and the 90s. Maybe this should have been a Thursday throwback comeback. But what you do is you take the back of your paintbrush. You take the handle of your paintbrush and use it to create dots. So you may do this every 5 minutes. You might be a person who knows this technique and uses it all the time. But this also might be new to somebody. So I've done that. I put a tip of paint on the end of each one of those leaves, and then the spaces between them had like circles. I went ahead and I mimicked that. And then for the other side, I'm just going to use my Sharpie. So if you don't have the patience for paint, or you don't feel like you have the handle for paint, remember this was all copied from a rubbing. So it's not me having perfect handwriting, trust me. But I just use a regular Sharpie. What I actually have two. I have a new one. I created all the lines with the new one, and then I filled it in with an older one. Because a lot of times when you lose the sharpness on your point, it's not always good, but still has ink in it, so you don't want to throw it out. I always save those for the fill-in parts, okay? And then I went ahead and I just filled in the same thing with the circles, and I filled in all of the areas. But I really like these two together. One side says Farm Fresh and the other one says Farm Fresh Eggs. I'm just going to use it, like I said, to store mason jars, or you could use it for tea service. But I really love it. I hope you guys do too. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I talked so fast. I was trying to get it all in for you. If you have any questions at all, and you very well may, please leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in seeing how to make this or what we made with it. And I want to show you here. This has 4 quart-sized mason jars in it, and they're all about half full, but 2 of them are old and heavy, but it's still very strong. Pick it up, turn it around. It's really, really a strong piece of organizational art. And I did the same thing here with canisters. So, yeah, if you know anybody who might be interested, go ahead and share it with them. I really would appreciate it. And don't forget to stop by the vlog channel. You know, the link is in the description box down below. I probably post vlogs 2 or 3 days a week. So if you do see anything or share with anybody, then you stop by there and say hi, okay? And as always, you guys take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye!